Please adhere to YouTube's selected guidelines before viewing the content of this video. I do not encourage or condone any products, actions, or behaviors shown in this video. All videos are produced in a safe, professional, and controlled environment. Please do not attempt to replicate any actions performed during the video. All actions are performed by professionals. Alrighty, so today I, a cigarette smoker, I'm going to be trying rum for the first time. In specific today, I'm going to be trying the Bacardi Reserva Ocho Rum, which was made in Puerto Rico, was aged for 8 years, gets decent reviews online, has a reputation for being a decent starter sipper, and cost me $28 total for this entire bottle. The reason why I chose this specific rum for my first ever rum to drink is quite simple. It's because it gets good reviews online, and it's because it was available at my local liquor store. Yeah, my local liquor store doesn't really have very good options for rum in general, frankly put. Most of the rums they have in stock are spiced rums, and I really didn't want to try a spiced rum as my first ever rum, frankly put. And so as such, I went for this one right here, which is a non-spiced rum that, well, as said, gets better reviews online and is known generally as a decent starter sipper. But why am I so curious to try rum for the first time? Why do I want to try rum for the first time? Well, the reason is very simple. Ever since I found out that rum is made with distilled sugarcane and/or molasses, I have been very curious to find out what it actually tastes like, especially since I've heard that it's a really good pairing with cigars. And honestly, it's as simple as that. I'm just curious to find out how it is just based off the ingredients that are used to make it, frankly put. Just how good or just how bad is rum actually going to be, and just what am I actually going to think about rum? Well, I don't know, but I'm looking forward to finding out that is for sure. As a whole, as I'm sure is obvious, I am much more excited than not to try rum for the first time during today's video, but I will also acknowledge that I am a little bit nervous at the same time, as I'm not really a liquor person. I have tried a couple different liquors in the past, and I haven't really liked any of them, frankly put. I don't mind mixed drinks, but just drinking liquor straight is really not my thing, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna like the rum I have with me today either, but there is only one way to find out, and that is to actually drink it for myself. And so as such, without further ado, let's go ahead and get the plastic off of the cork right here. Then after that, let's go ahead and take a little bit of a sniff inside the bottle, see what the rum actually smells like. Then let's go ahead and pour some in a glass that I've got in my cooler right next to me. And then after that, I'm gonna go ahead and take a little bit of a sip of this rum right here and drink some rum for the first time and actually let you guys know what I think of rum and just what my initial impressions on it actually are. But actually, before I go ahead and get this plastic off, I want to talk a little bit about the packaging just real quick, because this bottle looks really good in my personal opinion. I think the cork looks really good. It's got like the bat up there, which is like the Bacardi symbol and whatnot. Just says the world's most awarded rum or something like that, established 1882. They're really trying to pump up this rum and everything like that. Nobody really says that this is actually the world's most awarded rum, or that it's actually the best rum in the world, or anything like that kind of thing. But of course, they're gonna pump it up. Probably my favorite thing about this bottle is the band right here. This looks a lot like a cigar band, which I think is pretty cool. In all honesty, just says Ocho Años, 8 right there, which I think just means like aged for 8 years or something like that kind of thing. Then moving on below that, we can see just printed into the bottle itself, it just says Bacardi right there, and then it just says Reserva right there with a little bit of a sticker with the Bacardi sort of actual logo on it and whatnot. And then below all of that, there's another sticker right there that just says Bacardi, and then it just says Bacardi YCIA. I don't know what that means, but under that it just says Reserva Ocho right there, and then under that it just says Rare Gold Rum, and then we can see under that this rum has a 40% alcohol per volume level. The bottle number is AN8213, and then it says that the youngest rum barreled was from 2016, and then it just says Hecho en Puerto Rico, which just means made in Puerto Rico. Taking a look at the bottom of the, or not, sorry, not at the bottom of the bottle, taking a look at the back of the bottle, we can see they're basically just talking about how this is a family tradition or something like that kind of thing. And then it just says just some warnings right there, just a little bit of a government warning, whatnot. We can see this bottle is 750 milliliters. There's the barcode right there. Then it just has rum of Puerto Rico aged right there, and it just says produced by the Bacardi Corporation. And then there's some sort of like date code or something like that right there, which I don't know really what it means. Then we can see there's another bat right there. That is the Bacardi symbol after all. Nothing really going on the bottom of the bottle. It does say 750 milliliters on the bottom of it, though, I will acknowledge. And this is starting to drip all over me. I had it in my cooler before this video just to keep it cool so it wouldn't be like super hot. It is a bit warmer out here than not. It's like 90 degrees out here right now, so I didn't want to be drinking like above room temperature rum, frankly put. So I put it in my Pontiac Aztec cooler that I have right next to me. But now that I have gone ahead and just covered the packaging just a little bit, let's go ahead and see if I can get this plastic all off. I might need my knife for this. I don't really have any fingernails at this moment in time, frankly put. So let's just go ahead and take my knife. Let's go ahead and just go like that. Got my Kershaw scallion with me today. Just trying to get that plastic off. It is not really wanting to come off very easily. Might have to try that again, frankly put. There we go. There we go. There we go. All off just like that. I'm just going to go and put that down on the ground, and I'm going to go and throw the trash, the plastic, into my backpack just to make sure I don't be littering or nothing like that, of course. And now that I have thrown the plastic in there, I'm going to go ahead and put my knife away back into my pocket, and I'm going to go ahead and see if I can actually get this all opened up. So I think it's just like, I'm just going to put it down just so I don't spill it everywhere. So I'm just lifting up the cork. Just trying to get it off. I can put it on my knee. Oh, and I am able to smell a little bit. It smells very liquory, but at the same time kind of sweet. I don't want to break this because I'm not at home right now. So I do want to get the rest of this rum home. I'm not trying to drink this entire bottle today by any means. There we go. Just gonna go ahead and flick that. And I'm gonna go ahead and give this a little bit of a sniff now. And right off the bat, oh, paint thinner. But a little bit of a sweeter scent than not as well. Yeah. A little bit of paint thinner. A little bit of, I'm just gonna kind of give it a moment, and I'm just gonna kind of think about it, but I wanna get a good idea of what the smell is actually like. I don't know if rum is like tobacco by any means. A lot of times with tobacco, you can kind of generally figure out what the taste of the tobacco is gonna be like based off the smell to some extent. Sometimes not, sometimes yes, but I don't know if rum is like that, but I think it's a good idea to figure out what the smell is actually like before I go ahead and get to drinking. Okay, now that the bottle has been open just for a minute, I'm starting to get a little bit of a smell of, I'd have to say, banana, paint thinner, and maybe a little bit of caramel as well. So I'm getting sort of a banana, paint thinner, caramel-like smell from the Bacardi Reserva Ocho Rum, I'd have to say. Very interesting, to say the least. Well, I do suppose, without further ado, I should probably go ahead and get my glass all out of my cooler now, shouldn't I? So let's go and grab my glass out. And here it is. My glass has been chilled because I just left it in my cooler. So here's my glass. Let's go ahead and take my bottle of rum right here, and let's just go ahead and just pour it in. I think that should hopefully do just for this moment in time. I did get, I think, a little bit on my hand, but I'm just going to wipe that on my pants just for the moment. I don't want to kind of give myself an idea of what rum is like before I go ahead and actually take a sip. I'm just going to go ahead and get the cork back on just so I don't accidentally spill rum everywhere or anything like that kind of thing. And now, before I go ahead and take a little bit of a sip, I'm going to go ahead and grab myself a screenshot just real quick, just for the thumbnail of this video. So let's go ahead and just do that. If I possibly can. Just trying to figure out how I want to orient myself. Gotta do the YouTube face, you know what I'm saying? Alrighty. Hopefully that will do for a little bit of a screenshot. I'm just gonna go ahead and smell the rum I have in my glass right here. Very much a similar smell, I'd have to say. Maybe a little bit more fruity though. Very interesting. Very interesting. I'm a little bit, after having smelled the rum, oh man, I have been reminded so heavily of the fact that I'm not a liquor person. I am not really one for like super strong alcohols, but oh man, this is making me, a little bit nervous. Just sitting here and smelling it. Oh man, I am not much of a liquor person, but honestly, this doesn't smell any worse than, frankly put, like, I enjoy sake every once in a while. It took a while for me to warm up to sake. And sake smells like about as alcohol-y as this. It's not like any more alcohol-y by any means. And this is 40% versus most of the sake I drink is like 14%. So it is honestly kind of surprising that this does not smell more alcohol-y, frankly put. Like, I've tried other liquors. I've tried some cognac. I've tried vodka. Oh my God, wow. It just smells like pure paint thinner. Granted, I've only ever had Tito's. But this smells a lot better than that sort of stuff. Well, I do suppose, without further ado, I should probably go ahead and actually take a sip of rum for the first time, and I should actually go ahead and find out how it is. I'm gonna take a very small sip at first. Not gonna rush it by any means. Without further ado, let's go and take a sip of rum for the first time, and let's go and find out just how it actually is. I'm a little bit nervous, oh my goodness. But without further ado, let's go and take a sip. Yes sir, you know what I'm saying. Whoa. Wow. Right off the bat, the alcohol definitely hit the back of my throat. And right off the bat, I am very surprised at the flavor. Yeah. Very interesting. Wow. Okay. So I got, oh wow, I wasn't really expecting to really be able to distinguish too much flavor, but even that first absolutely tiny sip got me a little bit more flavor than not, frankly put. That's interesting. Okay. So the flavor I got was that of a sort of caramel, vanilla, banana, tropical fruits like sort of taste. And wow, that is burning the back of my throat. Oh my God. Wow. I don't mind the flavor of this though. It's really just the burning that's kind of getting me. But it's not like one of those things like when I've tried other liquors before, I'm like, it's not like that at all. No. It's just kind of burning the back of my throat. But, you know, it's not overwhelming. It's not. I think this is definitely going to be something that I'm going to have to warm up to. I'm getting the distinct impression right now that I might not like it the most, like right now, but I think once I warm up to it, I don't think I'm going to mind it. I think it's going to be like one of those situations that I had with sake, where the first time I ever tried sake, I didn't really like it. In fact, I very much disliked it. But the more I drank it, the more I warmed up to it. I think that's kind of one of those situations with this. There's other liquors where I'm like, I never want to try this again. This is not one of them. I wouldn't mind trying more. Ooh, wow. It is alcoholic though. Wow, damn. Oh my God. Whew. Wow. I can definitely see why. I've never had a rum and coke before. I've never had anything with rum in it. I can definitely see why though, just based off the taste that I'm getting. There's a little bit of spice in there. Like, this is, from what I know, this is not a spiced rum. I don't really know what spiced rum actually means. But from what I know, the Bacardi, what is it? This is the Reserva Ocho. The Bacardi Reserva Ocho. From what I know, it is not a spiced rum, but I'm definitely getting some spice in the back of my throat for sure, which is very interesting. But I can definitely see why rum and cokes are so popular. Just based off of the first couple sips, the first 2 sips, I've only taken 2 sips so far, but just based off the first 2 sips I took, I kind of want to try a rum and coke now, because like Coke kind of has that sort of caramel, sort of like flavor to it in my personal opinion, and there's a little bit of sort of like a thing that hits in the back of your throat as well. Not quite as much as like Dr. Pepper per se, but also I think like rum and Dr. Pepper would probably be pretty good too. But like, I just think the two tastes would combine together very well because I'm getting a little bit of a sort of caramel sort of taste from the rum, along with that sort of banana and vanilla and sort of like tropical fruits, not citrusy, but just tropical fruits sort of like taste. I'm getting all those sorts of tastes plus the sort of spice in the back of my throat. That's very interesting. And I can definitely see why as well that people say, I can definitely see why people say that it's a good pairing with cigars as well. Because honestly, you know, I think it would be pretty solid. I think it would be pretty solid. I think it would be pretty good with Connecticut or Maduro, frankly put. Although, if I do personally think it would be best with probably a Dominican or Cuban cigar. It's kind of my just personal take, though. Interesting, though. Interesting. Very interesting. I am also kind of glad I'm drinking this stuff chilled. I don't know if I'd like it as much if I was drinking it like at room temperature or warm. Ooh. And another thing I really like some liquors, they just kind of sit in your mouth. Like the taste is just like, whoa, I want that out kind of thing. At least this rum isn't like that at all. It's just kind of like, you know, just chilling. You just have a sip. The taste kind of dissipates. It's kind of just sits in your mouth, but it's not like liquor-y taste. Like, you get a little bit of that in the back of your throat, but it's not so bad. Just like the immediate aftertaste isn't like, whoa, I want to vomit. I have had some liquors where I'm like, whoa, oh my God, I want to vomit. Like Tito's, drinking that raw makes me want to vomit, frankly put. Cognac is not as bad, but is definitely not great either. This is definitely stronger than sake, I can tell. Sake is literally just rice wine. It's pretty much just wine. And sake does have a hit to it. It doesn't burn quite as much, but yeah, it's very interesting. I really was kind of expecting with this experience for me to either love it or hate it just immediately. And I was kind of leaning towards I'm probably not going to like it very much. I'm not really much of a liquor person, but honestly, you know, I'm kind of right in the middle right now. I am kind of right in the middle because I really don't mind. I really don't mind this at all, but it's definitely not something that I think I would really choose to drink raw too much. I don't think it's something I would really choose to sip straight too much. Maybe if it was watered down, like maybe rum on the rocks or something like that kind of thing, maybe I'd like it a little bit more. I definitely want to try like a rum old-fashioned as well with like some Simply syrup and stuff. I think I might really enjoy that. Like I want to have, like I don't know if I'd really enjoy sipping it straight, but I like the actual flavor of the rum itself. I just don't like the liquor hit of it per se. So if I can find like a sort of mixed drink that doesn't give me the liquor hit but still gives me the taste of the rum, that's kind of what I'm gonna go for, in all honesty. That's kind of what I'm gonna want. I like the flavor. I do like the flavor. Wow. Damn. Somebody just did, there's a baseball field over there, somebody just hit a pop ball and it just slammed into the top of the where the teams sit and whatnot. Ooh, wow. Interesting. Very interesting. Well, I can say with certainty that I'm going to finish off this glass. This is not something that I would chug. Like, I will chug a hard cider if I really want to. Normally I don't want to. I will chug a hard cider. I will sip a sake. I will not chug a sake. I will sip a rum. I will not chug a rum. I am taking tiny sips, and I have no desire to take any bigger of sips, frankly put. Yeah, I am okay. I am perfectly fine with nothing bigger than what I have. I think what I have is probably around about a shot's worth, if I had to guess. And honestly, I'm just going to stick with that. I don't think I really need any more than that, frankly put. I don't know if it's just me feeling it. I don't know if it's just me thinking it, but I do kind of feel like I am having a little bit of an alcohol buzz right now, frankly put. I do kind of feel like I'm getting one. I think the real question really lies, though, is how well does this stuff pair with, well, products? How well does this stuff pair with like, let's say, one of these right here. Well, I think I'm kind of wanting to find out. The alcohol buzz is definitely kind of making me want something else, so... And I'm very much a lightweight when it comes to alcohol. I really do feel like I'm feeling an alcohol buzz right now, frankly, but I've had like 3 sips and maybe 4 sips and that's it. But I'm kind of wanting to figure out if this stuff pairs pretty well with rum. So let's go ahead and find out, y'all. Let's go and find out. Yes, sir, yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? Now, I've heard cigars pair the best. I have heard that before. But I don't know about other products. Just based off of what I tasted from the rum previously, I do think that it will pair pretty well with cigars as a whole. Best with Cuban and Dominican cigars, though. And, okay, maybe Nicaraguan cigars as well. But so far, it's pairing pretty well with this as well. From what I can tell, this is very much a Virginia burley blend. It's got a little bit of a sort of fruity, nutty sort of taste to it, I'd have to say. And that sort of fruity, nutty taste is actually pairing very well with the aftertaste of the rum in my mouth, in my mouth right now. Very interesting. That is sweet, though, actually. There's a lot of sweetness. Wow, there is a lot of sweetness in rum. Wow, that last sip was super sweet. Oh, my God. Wow. That was insanely sweet. I was not expecting that, frankly put. I really was not expecting that. That was really, really, really sweet. Very molassesy, I'd have to say. I don't know if it was really sugarcaney, but I'd have to say molassesy is really the right way of putting it. But, you know, I see why people say rum pairs so well with cigars. Because, honestly, I think it does. I think it does. Now, I haven't smoked a cigar and had rum at the same time. I'm not doing that today. I haven't done that, of course. Of course, haven't done that before. But I do think it would be a good pairing. I'm not sure if I'd want to sip rum like straight when I'm smoking a cigar, but you know, maybe adding a little bit of something else to it would be pretty nice. Maybe a rum and coke, or maybe an old fashioned or something like that kind of thing would be nice. I'm not sure. I am such a lightweight, though. I'm actually feeling a buzz from the rum. I am such a lightweight. No, really, my only beef with the rum, I actually really like the taste of it. It is a little bit too sweet for me, but I've heard there's other rums out there that aren't as sweet. This is supposedly a sweeter rum than not. It's a Bacardi. After all, Bacardi is kind of a it's a brand name that kind of everybody knows. It doesn't have the highest reputation in the world, but this is supposedly one of the better ones than not. But it is a lot sweeter than not. It's to be expected. It's a Bacardi kind of thing. It's not the highest tier of rum by any means. The sweetness is one thing I don't like, and I also really don't like the spicy hit in the back of my throat kind of thing. But I mean, like, not bad. Those are two things that I'm saying I don't really like, but they're not really big deals, frankly. But they're not deal breakers for me by any means. Out of all the liquors I've tried, I think so far rum is actually probably my favorite to sip straight. Yeah. Could it dethrone my hard ciders or my sake? Can't dethrone my hard ciders, but, you know, I think it's on the same level as sake, frankly put. I do think it is. Ooh. And, you know, one thing I do like, even though I have the liquor flowing right over my tongue, the taste doesn't just sit in your mouth and make you go, eh. It doesn't do that. It doesn't do that at all. That's something I really appreciate, frankly put. And that's something that I have not gotten from some other liquors. Not rums. I haven't ever tried rum before. But that's something I haven't gotten from other liquors in the past. Very interesting. Very interesting. I think I'm gonna go and try to finish off my glass. I've got just a little bit left, not too much by any means. Whew. That was pretty much all I had left. Go and just dump the rest on the ground. There wasn't even really a sip left, frankly put. Well, I think I'm all set on rum, frankly put, for the moment. I think I've got a pretty decent buzz right now. I didn't even have that much, and I've got a good buzz going. I am very much a lightweight when it comes to liquor. That was plenty for me. That was plenty for me. I had a really good time today. I really did. No, you know, I was kind of a little bit nervous. I was kind of thinking, you know, I might not enjoy rum all that much. I don't want to waste my $25 bottle by any means, of course. But, you know, I came in with, I'd have to say, not high but not low expectations. Kind of just like medium-low expectations, I'd have to say. Not for the actual rum being good if you're a rum person, but just for me enjoying rum. I wasn't sure if I was actually going to enjoy it or not. Came in kind of thinking, okay, maybe I will, maybe I won't. That kind of thing. Excuse me. And I'm coming out of this experience going, wow, you know, it's pretty good stuff. It's pretty good stuff. I like it. I think, I don't know. I'm sure there's better sippers other than this one. There might be other sippers I prefer sipping over this one. Some people online, it's kind of conflicted. Some people say it's a really good beginner sipper, especially for the price. Some people say it's best in a mixed drink. I can't say. I don't know enough about rum to really say whether it's a good sipper or a good mixer, but I can say I don't mind sipping it, but I do think I would prefer mixing it if I had to guess. But not mixing it in a way that's going to completely cover up the liquor taste. Mixing in a way that's just going to kind of add something to kind of cut down the kick just a little bit. Because that's really my biggest thing with it, is the kick. The kick in the back of my throat, it's just not really it. But I think if I maybe add some Simply syrup, make an old-fashioned or some other sort of cocktail with the rum, I think I'm definitely going to enjoy it a lot more. And I think I definitely need to try rum and coke sometime in the future as well. Overall, the flavor I got from the Bacardi Reserva Ocho Rum from Puerto Rico was very much that of a, I'd have to say, banana, vanilla, caramel, molasses, tropical fruits, like sort of fruit punchy like taste. That's very much the taste I got as a whole. Banana, vanilla, caramel, molasses, fruit punch. That's very much the flavor I got from the rum as a whole. And the smell, when I first opened it up, was very much that of paint thinner, frankly put. And after I let it sit for a minute kind of thing, it kind of became that of a sort of paint thinnery, banana-like smell. The taste really was so much better than the smell, frankly put. It really was way better. Yeah, no, honestly, I can say based off of this first initial experience at least, my opinion may change in the future, but based off this first initial experience at least, you know, I don't think I mind rum one bit. I really like the flavor. I really like the fact that it doesn't that the flavor doesn't really sit in your mouth and go kind of thing. I don't like that at all when it comes to liquor and just food in general. I don't like food or just anything I'm consuming to be like, whoa, oh my God, that's horrible. There's lots of liquors out there that have done that to me before. Not this rum though. This rum, honestly, the aftertaste was fantastic. It was really just that spicy taste that was really the worst thing about it. But honestly, that was not really a big deal. The taste when you're actually sipping is really nice. The aftertaste is really nice as well, kind of thing. Doesn't make me want to gag by any means. Pairs very well with my products, so I certainly cannot complain as well. I think it's going to pair pretty well with future products as well. And honestly, for the price, I mean, like, I got 750 milliliters of this Bacardi rum I've got with me today. I had just a little tiny glass, and I'm feeling very comfortable right now. I'm feeling quite buzzed right now. I'm going to have to take a couple minutes to go to wait to go home, frankly put. When I say a couple minutes, I mean like an hour and a half, just to be safe and everything like that, of course. But yeah, no, very interesting, very interesting. I like the flavor. I like the aftertaste. I like how it pairs with other stuff I like. I like the price. Now, I've never tried any other rum before, so I can't comment as to whether the Bacardi I tried in this video, as to whether the rum I tried in this video is actually good rum or not, but you know, it's definitely better than other liquor I've had in the past. It's definitely a lot better. I can say with confidence that I don't mind rum one bit. I don't. And I can say with confidence that I will be drinking more rum in the future. Maybe not straight, but as mixed drinks. I definitely want to try some mixed drinks with rum in the future. Rum and Coke. Really want to try that. Really want to try like a rum old-fashioned as well. See how that is. And I'm going to have to look up some other recipes and see what other recipes are out there and see if there's any other rum-based cocktails I can try in the future and see how they are, kind of thing. I want to try drinking more rum, frankly put. This stuff has piqued my curiosity. I really like it. And I'm looking forward to drinking more rum in the future, frankly put. As somebody who is not a rum connoisseur, though, what would I rate the Bacardi Reserva Ocho? What would I rate this rum right here? Would I give it a good rating? Would I give it a bad rating? What would I rate it? I wouldn't give it like the best rating in the world. I wouldn't give it a 4 out of 4 by any means. But, you know, I think it does definitely deserve like a solid 3 out of 4. Now, this is my personal opinion as somebody who is not a rum connoisseur by any means. But, you know, for my first ever time with rum, I'm getting the distinct impression that it's not like the best rum out there. But I'm also getting the distinct impression that it's certainly not the worst out there either. And that's just kind of my personal take based off what I've read and based off of what I experienced during today's video. So yeah, no. I think a 3 out of 4 for the Bacardi Reserva Ocho is very deserving. For context, my rating scale goes from a 1 to 4, with 1 being like, this is terrible, never drink this. That would be like Tito's. I don't like Tito's. Or cognac. Well, maybe not all cognacs, but the cognac I've tried in the past, which I can't remember what the name of it is, that would be like a 1 out of 4. And then there's like 2 out of 4s, which is like some sakes that I've not really enjoyed in the past. And then there's like a 3 out of 4, which is like, I'd have to say like Strongbow hard cider from the United States, stuff like that kind of thing, and this rum, of course. And then there's like 4 out of 4s, which is like Stella Artois hard cider, and I'd have to say like 1 or 2 sakes I've had and whatnot kind of thing. There's like top tier for me at least. You know, I think a 3 out of 4 is very deserving. A 3 out of 4 for me at least means that I would personally buy it again, but that I also think there's better options out there. I don't think it's the best thing ever, but it's something I wouldn't mind buying again by any means. Yeah. Well, go ahead and just put that out on the ground and whatnot. Got to make sure I don't cause no forest fires, of course, and everything like that. And now that is all out, I'm going to go ahead and just put this on my cooler to make sure I don't litter or nothing like that. Going to be throwing it away after this video, of course. As a whole, I think I've had a pretty good experience drinking rum for the first time. I got no complaints on my behalf, frankly put. This was a much better experience than not. I have very much enjoyed myself, and I'm definitely looking forward to drinking rum in the future. Definitely gonna have to try some different cocktails. If y'all have any cocktail recommendations with rum, let me know in the comments down below. I'm definitely gonna be taking a look at them and seeing whether I want to try them or not and everything like that. I think no guarantees I will actually try some of them, but I'll be tempted to, and I'll have to do some research on them and everything like that kind of thing, of course. But yeah, no, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of rum. Was what I talked about in today's video kind of y'all's first impression of rum as well? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm curious to find out what y'all's first impressions of rum is, or was, and I'm curious to find out just what y'all think of rum as a whole. Do you guys like it? Do you guys not? Do you guys think the rum I drank in today's video was a horrible place to start? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm curious to find out. Certainly hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video where I, a cigarette smoker, drank tried rum for the first time. If you guys have enjoyed watching this video, of course, please make sure to like and subscribe for more content. I have my Instagram, my book, my merch, my P.O. Box, and my second channel all in the description down below. Go check it all out. So the next one, y'all, stay safe and peace and have a great one. Yes, sir, you know what I'm saying?